Netflix, this will be the most watched fight, championship fight, in almost 50 years. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford.
Ha! Ha! Grab the strap. Okay. Shit.
Come on. Yeah, get it. Yeah, get it. Get it. Yeah, get it. Yeah, get it. Yeah, get it. Get it. Come on. Yeah, move out the way. Yeah, move out the way. Yeah, move out the way. Yeah.
Stunned is the word Max Kellerman used to describe his reaction after watching the latest training footage of Terence "Bud" Crawford.
Number one fighter in the world.
What's your name?
Pound for pound, Terence Crawford. He going for 42-0.
Where's he from?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Height and weight.
You understand?
Who's he going against? Let's take him down.
Canelo Alvarez. Canelo.
Oh my God, he's serious, bro. Good luck. You're the man.
The undefeated pound-for-pound king has always been recognized for his slick style and razor, sharp ring IQ, but now he looks like a completely different fighter. Bigger, stronger, and more ripped than ever before, his transformation has fans asking a question no one expected: could Canelo Alvarez actually be walking into the toughest challenge of his career? And it is not just the fans stirring the buzz. Promoters, analysts, and even fellow fighters are weighing in on this mega fight. Some believe Crawford is ready to shock the world, while others argue he is taking on more than he can handle. Before we break down Max Kellerman's surprising perspective and why his comments have sent shockwaves across the boxing world, do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe, because this story is only heating up.
As Crawford, Crawford was on a knockout streak until he moved up to junior middleweight and then failed to stop Madrimov. So, and Canelo, though he has not stopped anyone in a while.
Now, this is where things start to get really interesting. Max Kellerman is not just another commentator in the boxing world. He is one of the sharpest minds in the game, someone who has spent decades breaking down the careers of legends. After being away for a while, he is making his return as part of the broadcast team for this mega fight, and that alone had fans buzzing with excitement. But what really set the conversation on fire was his reaction to Crawford's latest training footage. Kellerman admitted he was genuinely, stunned by what he saw. Crawford did not just look ready, he looked completely transformed. Gone was the familiar lean welterweight build. In its place stood a bulked up version of Bud that looked every bit like a super middleweight Still Lightning. Quick, still, razor sharp with his precision, but now carrying a new level of muscle and power fans had not witnessed before.
Last time I saw Crawford, he moved up yet another division, beat at the time the guy I thought was the best fighter in the division. Turns out he wasn't, but I thought he was at the time. And before that had just annihilated Errol Spence. So if you look at all the boxes, I'm going to check Crawford for most of them, if not all of them.
Kellerman did not stop there. He broke the fight down in a way only he can, emphasizing that Crawford still holds the edge when it comes to speed and overall ring IQ, in Kellerman's words. If you go down the list, I am checking Crawford's name on most of those boxes, maybe even all of them. That is a bold statement, especially considering this is the same analyst. Who has often praised Canelo as one of boxing's all-time greats. But here's the twist: if Kellerman truly believes Crawford dominates nearly every category, then why is Canelo still the clear betting favorite?
So as an overall suite of skills, recent vintage, it's been Crawford.
Okay.
But Canelo also is skilled and has a larger skeleton than Crawford. No matter what they weigh, Canelo's the bigger guy.
Kellerman also explained why. The odds still lean toward Canelo. For him, it comes down to size, durability, and sheer experience. Remember, Canelo Alvarez turned pro at just 15 years old and has been competing at the sport's highest level for nearly 2 decades. Along the way, he has shared the ring with giants like Gennadiy, Golovkin, Sergey, Kovalev, and Dmitry Bivol. Canelo is not just a natural super middleweight, he is comfortable at that size and knows exactly how to use it to his advantage. His ability to adjust his style, depending on the opponent, is a huge part of why he has been so dominant. As Kellerman put it, Canelo is simply the bigger man, and that is the key reason he is favored. So while Crawford may check more boxes on paper, the one that could end up deciding everything, size still belongs to Canelo, and Kellerman is not the only one who sees it that way. Fighters, trainers, and analysts are all weighing in, and opinions remain sharply divided.
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if he loses either. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Errol Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. So I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Take David Benavidez as an example, a fighter who knows exactly what it takes to compete at super middleweight. Benavidez did not hold back when giving his opinion. For him, the size gap is simply too big to overlook. Canelo wins because of size, he stated bluntly. And the numbers back him up. Crawford is climbing 3 entire weight divisions, while Canelo has built his career dominating naturally bigger opponents. Making that kind of jump is almost, even for someone as gifted as Crawford, it raises tough questions. Can pure skill really be enough? Every body eventually reach its breaking point. Still not everyone agrees that size is the only factor that matters. Promoter Eddie Hearn, with all his years in the business, actually leaned a little toward Crawford, a stance that caught some people off guard. While he acknowledged that Canelo deserves to be the betting favorite, Hearn admitted he would not be shocked if Crawford managed to pull off the upset. But he also echoed the concern that is on everyone's mind: the real test will come when Crawford takes that first big shot. How he reacts in that moment could determine everything.
He couldn't cut the ring off. I just feel like the timing now, the age, Canelo is amazing. I mean, not just because of his ability and what he's accomplished, but the fact that he still has the desire.
And you have Ryan Garcia, who did not mince words either. Garcia openly praised Crawford's skill set, his ability to outbox opponents, trade punches, and seamlessly switch styles mid-fight. But even with all that respect, he pointed out a flaw that cannot be ignored. Crawford has been caught with some wild shots in previous bouts. And against a fighter like Canelo, who has built his reputation on taking punishment and firing back with pinpoint counters that could prove to be a dangerous weakness.
Man, I really see I see that Bud is gonna do good. He's gonna do good, but I don't think he's gonna win. But I do see Bud like getting a lot of punches off, being able to tag Canelo with some good shots, but they have no effect. That's the thing.
Regis Prograis may have given the most straightforward take of them. All weight classes exist for a reason. No matter how brilliant Crawford has been at 147, 154, or even 160, stepping into Canelo's division is a whole different challenge. Still, while the size debate continues, the training footage that Max Kellerman reacted to tells its own story, and it is one that suggests Terence Crawford might be rewriting the rules once again. In that footage, Crawford looked nothing like the fighter fans were used to seeing at welterweight. His shoulders were broader, his arms packed with muscle, his chest filled out as if he had been living in the weight room. And when he unloaded on the heavy bag, it was not the usual crisp pop, it was a thunderous boom that seemed to shake the gym walls. Every shot carried the message that Bud is not just moving up in weight, he is bringing serious power with him. Fans online went into overdrive. Some were shocked at how much muscle he had added in such a short span, joking that he looked more like an NFL linebacker than a former. Welterweight others worried he might have given up his greatest weapon, that blazing hand speed, in exchange for brute strength, but Kellerman pushed back against that idea. To him, Crawford still had the same sharpness, the same snap in his punches. Only now it all came with an added layer of
Canelo and Crawford going up against him. So the only thing they have, but I would say the only thing he has going for him is he's a skillful fighter, and Canelo is older, but so is Crawford too. I think Crawford is 37, 38, something like that. Canelo's 36, so they both are older right now. But man, I don't personally see it. A lot of people see that Crawford can beat Canelo. It's just like that punch resistance is something else. They make weight classes for a reason. If he could beat him, man,
In Kellerman's view, Crawford has not slowed down at all. He has simply shifted into a higher gear. And if that is really the case, then Canelo could be facing a version of Bud unlike anything we have seen before. But even as Crawford's physical transformation grabbed headlines, another storyline began adding fuel to the fire, and this time it had nothing to do with Bud himself.
Oh, that's because you. Oh, that's because I'm happy. You should be able to do that.
Jaron Boots. Ennis, one of boxing's fastest rising stars, was revealed to be sparring with Canelo Alvarez as part of his camp for this fight. On paper, it looked like the perfect setup, iron sharpening iron, but the boxing world did not quite see it that way.
Oh, yeah. Since 2001. Oh, you're an asshole. Oh, yeah. I knew when I ain't gonna put down. I used to live in LA. I'm gonna bite your bottle pepper or something. You're gonna fight jail.
Timothy Bradley, never one to hold his tongue, went straight at Ennis. He criticized Boots for agreeing to be a sparring partner, saying you are a world champion, not someone else's sparring partner. And Bradley did not stop there. He accused Ennis of avoiding tough challenges, and that even claimed Boots once hung up the phone to dodge an interview with him. For Bradley, this was not just about sparring, it was about image. To him, a rising champion stepping into that role looked like a step backward that sparked a bigger debate. Was Ennis underselling himself by serving as Canelo's secret weapon, or was he making a smart decision using the chance to measure himself against greatness? Either way, the headlines exploded. Ennis suddenly found himself painted as both a potential advantage for Canelo and the target of heavy criticism. And then came the twist. Terence Crawford himself weighed in on the news, and he did it with a laugh.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's go, baby.
Calm and almost dismissive, that is how Crawford responded. He joked that if he was not a real threat, Canelo would not need Boots Ennis in camp to prepare for him in the first place. In Bud's eyes, that move revealed more about Canelo's concerns than anything about his own abilities. Then came the mic drop moment. Crawford declared that after September 13th, there would be no excuses, no talk about weight classes, no debate about preparation, just the truth of what happens when the two men meet in the ring. Max Kellerman echoed that confidence, saying Crawford already checks nearly every box except natural size. But if this new bulked up version of Bud can carry both power and speed at 168, then even that missing box might not matter. If that proves true, the script flips completely, and suddenly it is Canelo with the questions to answer. That unpredictability is what makes this matchup so compelling. Even legends and analysts cannot agree. Mike Tyson has leaned one way, Antonio Tarver another. Promoters like Eddie Hearn give Crawford a slight edge, while fighters such as David Benavidez argue that size will decide everything. The split is very real, and it only adds to the hype.
One more thing. It don't matter if Canelo is on that. He ain't beat no Terence Crawford. You heard it here first. Plus, I look at the performances of Canelo. I look at his last performances. I mean, they've been all right, you know. It ain't been like, you know, wow, you know, blew me away.
All those doubters, at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I get that.
What time is it? What time is it? Terence, what?
He's not me.
Yeah.
You know, as much as a lot of people, you know, say we have similarities and, you know, we switch a lot and we fight a lot. He's not me, you know, and I'm not him. So, yeah.
Tim had said comparison that like he's like a Chrysler 300 and you're like a Bentley.
Interview 15 all, right guys, for the best updates on boxing news, moments, events, and actions. Subscribe to Knockout updates and turn on notifications to never miss out on quality content, and check out our other videos. Until next time.